All right. Well, ho, 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 and Merry Christmas. How the heck is everybody this evening? I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic Christmas Eve and that things have settled down and you're ready to cruise on into Christmas tomorrow and spend it with your family, with your loved ones, friends. Maybe you're just chilling out and taking a you day. My day was very busy and hectic. Let's see. I drove from my home about 24 miles in one direction um, to deliver cheesecake. And that was up the Central Corridor Expressway right through Central Florida called I-4, Interstate 4. And then I had to locate a branch of Target that I have never been to, I didn't know existed, and was in a super sketchy and kind of scary part of town to pick up something that was only available there. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had Ray Conniff and Steel Eye Span and Bing Crosby and the rest of the gang to protect me, but yeah, that was a little spooky. I'll tell you a funny one about that. And don't worry, we'll get into the last day of Star Wars Christmas Advent. That is a thing that's still happening tonight. Um, so the guy that got me my order at Target, I asked him there was a book I wanted to get. And I know my younger daughter's not watching this or going to watch this between now and tomorrow morning. It was a Stranger Things book, not a book of fiction, but a like production notes and making of and that sort of thing. And the book, like all of the Stranger Things media, it has that look of a Stephen King book from the 80s, but the book is pre-distressed. Like it's supposed to look beaten up, like it's 30 years old, like there's little tears in it and things like that. So first, yes, I checked Gods and Monsters. They didn't have it in stock. And I asked at Target because Target sells books and it was on their website. Well, the guy who got me my stuff, if you've ever seen the Seth Meyers sketch, Boston Accent, which is a spoof of cop shows and thrillers and crime thrillers and stuff set in modern day Boston. This guy would have been perfect for that, even though he wasn't Seth Meyers. He didn't look like Seth Meyers, didn't particularly sound like it, but just his Boston accent was impeccable. So I said, it's saying here that if I order this today, I can pick this up, like order it by 6, pick it up by 8. Is that just a generic thing that goes on every item that you like, regardless of whether or not you have it in stock? And he's like, oh yeah, bro. Yeah, that goes on there, bro. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, well, and he said, let me see what that is, bro. I'll go look and see if we got it in stock. So he took the ISBN number or SKU number or whatever and went off back looking for it. God bless him, came back and said, nah, bro, I don't have that. And I was like, well, thanks for looking. Yeah, no problem, bro. Merry Christmas, bro. Just like, I halfway expected Christmas music by the Dropkick Murphys to be playing or get shot in the head. But thank you, random Target employee. I appreciate it, bro. So yeah, after finding my way out of a super duper sketchy part of downtown-ish Orlando, if you're not familiar with Orlando, there's no point in me like going into it. It was like, oh, I-4 is really, really slammed, so you're going to want to take this alternate route. And as soon as I got over to the alternate route, there's another stretch of road in Orlando, which if you're not from Orlando, this won't mean a lot to you. That is very rough. 441, Orange Blossom Trail. If you're familiar with the song American Girl, the Highway 441 runs all the way into South Florida, all the way up into New Jersey, but it also runs through Gainesville, Florida. So when Tom Petty talks about, she could hear the cars roll by down on 441 like waves crashing on the beach, that's the stretch of highway he's talking about. Not that specific stretch through Orlando, but that's what he's talking about. So yeah, we are sending you on the fastest available route was taking me just through just Skid Row for Orlando. And I'm not talking about like Sebastian Bach and, I Remember You. I mean, it was just very sketchy part. I mean, it sent me like all through central Orlando. And I finally was able to get back. So trip to the comic shop, drop off a cheesecake, trip into the guts of Orlando to a super sketchy Target to pick something up, get redirected out to the middle of nowhere. Merry Christmas, John David. Finally start recognizing the roads as not being terribly unsafe. Went to Total Wine, got myself a little Christmas gift. From there to the mall, 3 stores in the mall. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 stores in the mall. Found the book in the mall. Ate a Chick-fil-A sandwich in 6 bites and down an iced tea and then just back out to the car. By the way, if you're Southerner, little pro tip, you can call poison control if you're a Southerner and you drink unsweet iced tea. That's a fact. So from there to the grocery store. So this odyssey started at 11 o'clock, didn't end till like 3:30. Just running around, and I still got gifts to wrap. I gotta get some gift wrap, and I gotta do that. Goodness gracious! So with all of that. That was my day. That was the madness that was today. So, you guys ready for the final day of Lego Star Wars Christmas Advent? Which, if you've missed it up to this point, I am terribly sorry, but I will show you guys now. Let's go over. Here we are. Here's the Star Wars Lego Christmas Advent calendar, which says Lego nowhere on it because, they want to be as inoffensive as possible. That's why, rather than have the Ark of the Covenant in the Raiders of the Lost Ark truck that I've got, it's a golden treasure. There's groups. But anyway, so here we go. This is it. The last Advent piece. The last Star Wars Lego Advent piece. And probably the last one I'll have. Those Advents, they come out in October and they're available for like a day and then they get bought up and they're gone. So next year I'll find some other kind of Advent to do. But here we go. Bum bum ba-dum ba-da-da-da-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-da-dum bum bum ba-bum bum ba-bum bum bum. That's right. The last piece is Darth Vader in an ugly sweater. Ho ho ho, Merry Sithmas. And I think it's a little hard for me to tell, but I think that is, in fact, the Death Star on his ugly sweater there. Now, I'll tell you a little fun factoid about this. So, this is last year's Advent calendar. I showed this off. But I was a little disappointed because when I took Darth Vader out, there was no cape. No capes! You can see his cape there. And I was like, oh, shucks. Well, I have a Star Wars Advent calendar, and Darth Vader's in an ugly sweater, not in his formal cape, but it showed the cape on the box. Again, oh well, that kind of thing happens. Well, this year, when I was noodling around the box, because I knew what was in there, I just wanted to see Lego Star Wars bits. I noticed in the slot, in the space for Lego Darth Vader, because The way these spaces work, and I'll show you. Just while we have the zoom camera. Here, we'll just pick this one because it's already hanging open. So you can see there's a bit of a lip. There's a bit of a lip there. And it's white inside. So this year, just a couple of weeks ago, as I'm going through the calendar, getting ready, because I didn't want stuff to like break apart as I was taking it out, or if it had to be taken into a couple of pieces, I wanted to have it assembled in here on the desk. And so I look over and I check Darth Vader out, and I notice to the side in his space is this little cardboard envelope. I was like, no way. There's no way. So, it's got a little perforated tab there, and I pull it open. And inside is his cloak. So for a year, sorry, Darth, don't. Lord Vader, his cloak was sitting in here, and this was pushed all the way against the side of his of his spot. It may have been like that, but regardless of how it was in there, I couldn't see it because it was hidden by the inner lip. So yes, Lego, I got the cloak just a year late. So that is it. Those are Star Wars Lego Christmas Advent pieces. I'll just pop that back in there just because. And we'll put old Lord Vader. Oh, and in case you're wondering, yes, we have burned up face. It's all pale and nasty looking. So now, one thing that I didn't show this year, but every piece of the Advent came with extra pieces. Last year, I was able to assemble what I called the booger. And I don't know where it is. I think it's lying somewhere around my office. I didn't get rid of it. But it was this chunk of pieces, usually just single pieces of Lego. Like there's an extra lightsaber hilt, there's a couple extra antenna bits, and so on and etc. So there's enough stuff not to make anything logical or like, oh, I could make this for Darth Vader, I could make that for Luke or whatever. Just a whole lot of little itty bitty bits. Which was kind of funny. I mean, it's not an insignificant amount. It's like the piece, if you stacked all the pieces end to end, it was like that tall. It was crazy. So that's it. The Star Wars Lego Christmas Advent Calendar for 2021. Can we stand that right there? Can I stand it? I'll try and not knock that down. So there we go. So that's what I got. And I still have these books to wrap for the missus and some other things to wrap for the missus. Oh, goodness. But I did come home to fresh baked cookies today, and that was pretty special. I keep moving the mic away and then pulling it back. I'm going to leave it here. I did come home to fresh baked cookies today, and that was pretty all right. So I had some of those, and thanks to the Leshes, I have a fantastic Christmas feast to make for the family for breakfast tomorrow. Pancakes and sausage and bacon and the remains of some little cakes, apple cake, spice cake, and lemon bread. Someone didn't realize that those were for Christmas morning breakfast and they got nibbled on. So, but there's a little bit left. And cinnamon rolls, and I'm going to make sausage and cheese balls tomorrow. Which, if you don't know what those are, they're awesome. Basically, you need a sausage roll, 1 pound sausage roll. You need 2 cups of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. And you need 3 cups of Bisquick. Let the sausage come to room temperature. Put the Bisquick, the sausage, and the cheese all together. Knead it into a dough. You want it all like as a dough, like as a ball of dough. Then you break off golf ball sized pieces of it. You roll them up. You put them on a baking sheet. You put it in an oven at 425 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes, and it bakes them into little cheesy, sausagey biscuits that are delicious. And they're great for football game watching snacks. They're great for Christmas morning / afternoon brunching, snacking. It's all good stuff. John says, I ordered Frog Gods the Blight for myself. Lol. All right. Well, that's awesome. I meant to have over here at the table, and I'm not going to go traipsing across my office to find it. I did get role-playing game stuff one year for Christmas, even from my parents who, yes, were caught up in the ridiculousness of the moral panic. Just a passerby says, I keep spamming this. Well, thank you. I'm not sure what you keep spamming. My channel? I appreciate that. But yeah, I got Star Frontiers. I got a set of Star Frontiers, and I have a lot of it. I have like the 2 rule books, the included module, some of the counters, probably have lost way too many of them. But my starport map is gone. Like, it was like a starport on one side and you flip it over and it's a bunch of different terrain styles. It's meant for Volturnus. That flew the coop at some point. It's gone. So unfortunately, don't have my big starport map anymore, and that makes me sad. And of course, everything is FOMO, everything is vintage. I've seen them loose on eBay, but they're $50 and $60. So maybe somewhere, maybe sometime. But I did get Star Frontiers for Christmas one year, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I was amazed that my parents actually bought me a role-playing game. They were so caught up. Anyone ever play I never played Starfinder. I don't know what Starfinder is. Lego Beholder. I could make a Lego Beholder. I should try and do that one day. Make a Lego Beholder that looks like Tom Wham's excellent Beholder. Which, by the way, if you're one of those people that thinks that like the Beholders that look like bugs in late 2nd edition and the big kind of blobby, gummy, gray clay looking Beholders, and the absolutely terrible 3rd edition to present day Beholders that look like just heads, just cycloptic heads with the antenna eyes on top. If you in any way think those are the way a Beholder should look, you're wrong. And you should feel bad. Tom Wham's Jolly Maniacal Beholder is the only Beholder. And I will fight you over that. But, Lego Marvel Gargantos Showdown. Look it up. It is a Lego. All right. Oh, yeah. So you can't paste links in to the chat. It stops people from spamming the chat. Only I can do that. You know what? Let's find it real quick. Let's do that, and I'll share it with everybody. Lego Marvel Gargantos Showdown. Let's see what it looks like. All right, so oh, it's the Doctor Strange. Okay. It's even out of stock with Lego. I mean, Lego can, they can stamp these things out. So there you guys go. There's the link. I'll put it over on the Facebook. Merry Christmas, Robert. Merry Christmas, Brian. Thank you. See you guys over on Facebook. Happy Christmas to you, Robert, and your family as well. Darth Vader in an ugly dad sweater, yes. So the Beholder, Robert over on Facebook says, "Oh, the Beholder in Big Trouble in Little China." So the guy in Big Trouble in Little China really is more like a spectator. He's only got a few eyes, and he doesn't really engage in like super destructive behavior. So he's more like a spectator, which I guess in later versions of D&D they made into a beholder kin, related to a beholder. I think it can be its own thing. Rob says, Starfinder, I have the core rulebook in the beginner box. I haven't ever played it. Tom Whalen, The Twilight Zone. Not getting that one. But yeah, thank you guys over on Facebook. Merry Christmas to you. Sorry, I wasn't ignoring y'all. You know how it is. Even with the two monitor setup that I have now, I can still miss stuff, and I apologize for that. I'll close some tabs here and see if I can make this a little bit easier so I don't miss stuff. But anyway, is anyone? First of all, is anyone opening? Is anyone doing a Christmas gift opening on Christmas Eve? We at times, like, we used to have big Christmas Eve parties here, and we would do Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve and then our stockings on Christmas morning. We did that for a few years because, nobody was going to be here on Christmas Day, and we weren't going anywhere on Christmas Day. So folks that brought gifts and gifts that we got for folks we all wanted to see open. So we'd, oh, right. Okay. We always do one on Christmas. Doesn't everybody do at least one? But no, we, for a long time we did that. And, in recent years, we've just kind of gone back to Christmas morning. We did briefly see my wife's parents tonight, swung by there, had a little nosh, chit-chatted with them, and then the girls opened a gift. My youngest got a guitar this year, a Gibson guitar, like a proper Gibson guitar, and was over the moon. She can't wait. Again, she's not watching the stream or listening in, so I will say this. She also got a stand and like a Mel Bay book and all that jazz. So she's going to be hyped. I told her, she was just oohing and ahhing over it and said, oh, there's this one song I can't wait to learn and play. And I laughed and said, you mean Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? And she said, well, after that one. Yeah, it's 2/3 size Gibson, so it's just perfect for her, because she's a wee thing. But yeah, that's quite a thing that she got, and she's elated about it, and And I hope she fills the house with beautiful music. She was also saying she'd be interested in drums, and then Charlotte said something about being interested in drums, and I said, look, Charlotte gets a drum kit now that you've got that guitar. If I'm ever awoken at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning by you guys playing an amateur cover of Good Times, Bad Times by Led Zeppelin, I will smile and enjoy the racket. I will smile and enjoy the racket. Absolutely. So, yep, a Git fiddle for her. And I've got a few odds and ends coming my way. I think I told you guys about the Empire Strikes Back sketchbook that got ruined by a Yankee. And, oh, there goes the light. So I know that a replacement copy of that is coming in, and one other book, a book about Blade Runner. Was it, what was it called? I can't remember, but my friend Henry actually had it. I saw it. It was published years ago in the 90s. And then thank you, Robert. As the director's cut came out, and then of course the massive deluxe set that had like all the stuff they talked about in the book, cutting room floor stuff, stills, production notes, everything on a multi-disc set. I think they released another version of the book. And then finally with Blade Runner 2049, they released a third version of the book. So I'm not sure if I'm getting the second or the third version of the book, but I'm really looking forward to it. I know that one's coming. So I'm getting a couple of books because, again, I bought myself Hero Quest, prepaid for Hero Quest from Hasbro. Bro, you bought Hero Quest for yourself, bro. My dad grew up in this dungeon, bro. His dad, they raided this dungeon. It's all about family, bro. But anyway, so yeah, I got myself the Hero Quest set last year. It came in right around Thanksgiving. So that was my big gift. So I've got a couple of lovely books coming, and I'm looking forward to that. And I got a few little things for just a few little things. I got some stuff for the family. I'm going to buy my youngest Fallout 4. It's on Steam sale right now, by the way. Steam's massive sale when you can get like AAA titles from last year and the year before they were holding on to the $49 and $39 price point. Ho, ho, ho. Hey, IR. Good to see you, Bo. Ho, ho, Bo. Eric Frommer. Now I have the sax of that song playing on repeat in my head. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Boo. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Now you've all got it stuck in your heads. Did I get the $600 one? I didn't get, no. As far as I know, there wasn't a $600 Hero Quest. I got you, Eric. But, I know the 2007 Final Cut box had the Dangerous Days documentary on it. Yeah. That's very true. I have that set. I got that for Christmas one year. That's in like a briefcase. It came with a spinner car, and there's a foil unicorn in it, like gaff folded, a little origami unicorn, but it's cast out of chromed plastic. So, it doesn't get crushed. So I got the spinner, the disc set, a film cell, just a whole bunch of stuff. I haven't even looked at it in a long time. I just, I enjoy the movies. They're in digital. It's like, I don't want to risk damaging the discs, pulling them out to watch it. But anyway, so yeah, I got myself the Hero Quest stuff. I got myself some books this year. Or I will receive some books this year. But other than that, giving a lot this year. Did I mention how insane the mall was? The mall was insane. The mall was absolutely crazy. And the book that I got my daughter, the Stranger Things book, was like one of two that they had left in stock. I mean, like, I worked retail. I worked retail at Christmas. But our store, our music lane, was tiny compared to the size of the Barnes & Noble. And this woman's like, shoom, we go. And just shoom. And she goes and look. She's like, oh, it'll probably be in the books about movies. And we're not seeing it. So I said, maybe it's in with like the Stranger Things, like novelizations and novels. And oh, it might be over there. So we go over to like teen sci-fi horror stuff. Boom. There it is. So thank you, young lady at the bookstore. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. And you know what else I appreciate? I appreciate all of you guys. All of you guys. I've got folks watching me over on Facebook. I got you folks watching me on YouTube. And I'm hoping that not too far into 2022, we'll get the nod, we'll get the viewers, and we can have the great underground virtual gaming con. I want it. I know you guys, God, all these Yankees that hung around today. You guys want it, so it's going to be good. Robert's on YouTube and Facebook. So is this like an echoplex for you? Yep, we're still holding at 831 subs, which I noticed like a couple of times during the week. It would drop down to 830, then back up to 831, then back down to 830, then back up to 831. So it's like it did this. So if I hadn't, I don't know, yelled or done a shitty, boring video, it might be up even higher. So, but we're holding at 831. We need 169. Nice. More subs. And then we're going to celebrate with a great underground virtual gaming convention. Original Dungeons and Dragons, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, First Edition Gamma World, Twilight 2000, Tales from the Loop, Dungeon, Fight in the Skies, possibly some Hero Quest, and stuff that other people are going to run over the space of an entire extended weekend. So help me help you guys do that. Go out there, tell your friends to click like and subscribe. Passerby says, I found that case a little expensive. It was a gift to me. Would I have bought it myself? Probably not. I mean, just because of the price. But I do know that the disc contents were sold as a slipcase. Like if you didn't want just like the Esper edition, that's it, the Esper edition of the set, you could just get the discs in a slipcase. It says, I turned the audio off on YouTube. It lags here by about a minute. Okay. All right, I'll take your word for it. So I'm still looking at hopefully getting a resin printer. The writing gig that I was assured was coming my way. No, let me back up on that because I don't want anybody to think that I have been wronged. That was completely the wrong adjective to use. The writing gig that I thought might be coming my way is probably not going to. So, I'll have to, I don't know, paint a few fences, mow a few yards, something like that, to try and make a resin printer happen. So we'll see, we'll see. But one thing I talked about this the other night. Last night was a little personal, a little emotional. But I talked about this the night before. There will be a Patreon. January of 2022. Might even just kick off on January 1, 2022. Just to, there'll be different levels of Patreonage you can contribute to. Higher level patrons will get exclusive adventures, and even higher levels will get some 3D printed stuff. And there will be some videos. Now, like all good video creators, some of those will possibly eventually become available to folks at large. And I get it. People can't always support that way. But here's the thing. I'm not a dude, like, you go look at my sub count. 831 subs. Okay. None of you guys are just like, whispers in a whirlwind. Every one of you guys who comes and hangs out and that sort of thing. Have I ever not hung with y'all and talked to y'all and responded to y'all? No. I've always been willing to reach out and talk to you guys. So don't think that I'm building some great huge firewall to separate folks that just want to watch and have a good time from some rich hoity-toity types, okay? But I think it could be something good for you guys and something good for me. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Paul says, get the other kids to help you whitewash that fence. Yes, I will. I absolutely will. And I read that reference 2 years ago. But anyway, so yeah, that will happen. I may take a little bit of the free time in this down week. About the only thing I got happening after Christmas, immediately after Christmas. Yeah, Samalama, I'm going to open up Patreon. And I'm going to take this week and work on it and tweak it and everything like that. A Patreon. Yes, I am opening a Patreon. So, get some stuff for you guys. But anyway, all I've really got going on in January in the new year is personally, like not something that impacts you guys, but just personally, is I will probably probably about it is I will be hyped up for college football playoffs. I'm very excited about that. Roll Tide. So I watch my subscribers dip as I find out you're all like, I don't know, Clemson fans or something. But yeah, that's I'm excited about that. I didn't even expect my team to make it this year. But so that's the thing that's happening this week. But other than that, I have nothing but free time between now, tomorrow night and the new year, but prep the Patreon so I can launch it on the 1st. Someone says, I was thinking that's a great idea for you just recently. I think so too. I mean, something that I might do for patrons is, because somebody suggested, hey, adventures would be nice for patrons. Sure. I mean, absolutely. Why not? I talk about my Christmas adventures. I should go back through my notes and create like Christmas adventures. But I might do that. But there'll be adventures and there'll be stuff like that. So fear not. And again, higher level Patreons, scatter terrain, 3D printed stuff, cool things to throw out on your table. So that's a very, very cool thing that's coming up. Does anybody give any role-playing game stuff this year? Did anyone, did anyone, I just bought my module on DM's Guild. I'd love to have more stuff and even just random resources to use. Sure thing, man. Sure thing. Custom tables and stuff. Okay. All right. I may start trickling out some of my stuff that I did with Gary. You know, just buildings and stuff like that. Maybe Citadel's End. Maybe I'll de-Garyfy Citadel's End and publish that on Patreon. We'll see. We'll see. I have a lot of ideas and I have a lot of resources to tap. But, you know, if you guys are here for it, I'm here for you. I'm looking forward to that. So, got my Christmas this is Robert over on Facebook saying, I got my Christmas present earlier, a World of Visceral Adventure from DCC or for DCC. Okay. I want to say that I think in a stack of stuff from Free RPG Day, I have DCC. My module uses Castles and Crusades. What do I think about that game? I never actually tried it. I play tested it. I had a little bit of input into its creation. I was not a designer. I think it was bold for what it tried to do. At the time, nobody was tackling creating an old school D&D rule set under the OGL. I mean, I with Osric being out, I find it kind of redundant. I just, you know, I have enough stuff to run in AD&D that I don't really see the need for Castles and Crusades, but I understand the Castles and Crusades fan base because, you know, I was there with the play testing and working with Gary and working with the Troll Lords. So I don't hate it. Okay. I don't dislike it. I don't think it's bad. I think it's good. I just think that for me, there are other better ways to get my old school fix playing AD&D and OD&D. So that's my thought on it. A Christmas D&D adventure game would be awesome. You know, I'm a noob, so this may exist, but if not, that'd be. There are a lot of companies that have done Christmas D&D adventures, but they're always very ironic, like, you know, oh, the players have got to round up children for Krampus, or, you know, Santa is actually Cthulhu. It's just the myths have gotten mixed up in that sort of thing. And Santa Claus is coming to town is actually Cthulhu's coming to devour the town. I don't do that. Christmas is a very special and meaningful time of year for me. And it's a very meaningful holiday for me. And having fun is having fun. And I mean, you could probably take the standpoint that, you know, any D&D, any Christmas themed D&D is not proper, but I would by preference rather do something that's a little bit more celebratory of Christmas in the spirit of not so much the religious or spiritual aspect of it, but at the same time is slightly more reverential than, you know, Krampus or Cthulhu or, you know, do you remember that the episode of The Simpsons where the Simpsons kids and the other Springfield kids get trapped in school on a snow day, and Skinner shows them some movie from like 1937, and there's like Christmas goblins, and Lisa's just looking at the screen and she's like, this doesn't have the first thing to do with Christmas. that's how kind of some Christmas adventures I look at, and I'm very much like that. So I try and bring a real sense of Christmas spirit into the game. Is sort of how I roll with it. Let's see, they're not very original, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, I feel like that could be the kind of that could be a cool kind of thing. You guys might enjoy that for the Patreon. I mean, because I've run some pretty good Christmas adventures. I have. They've always gotten rave reviews, and it started very simply. I'll tell you, and this is not giving away an adventure. I literally just the party was deep inside my own mega dungeon, and they were like, getting out of here is going to be as hard as it was to get here. So, we're going to go in this room, we're going to spike the doors and set Wyvern watch and silence 15-foot radius on the entrance, so nobody can hear us resting in here and so on. And they took a lot of precautions. So I just said that when they woke up, in the corner, there was a Christmas tree. There were stockings hanging over a fire pit in one corner of the room. And I just I think I gave them like magical apples and oranges that restored a hit point for each eaten. And just a few little odds and ends like that. I even had from my Victorian village. It's a tabletop thing. You've seen them before. The little villages with the people, and there's a Christmas tree and LED lights and all that stuff. My dad gave me one of those he bought at Costco bajillion years ago. And I took the Christmas tree and I set it there in the Dwarven Forge, and the guys loved it. And every year after that, it just grew a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually I was running a full-blown Christmas party adventure. One year I just came home with a ton of Chinese food, and we ate Chinese food and played D&D, and I ran the Christmas adventure. And of course, now I've switched over to virtual, and my crew is scattered. I mean, I've got some people here in Florida, but there's people up the East Coast, there's people in the Midwest, there's people out on the West Coast. So, don't really do a Christmas party anymore, but I had them here, and that was a lot of fun. And I ran a Christmas adventure for them. I think this year was probably not as good as other ones. Like one year I had the party rescue Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. They rescued Danny Kaye and Bob Hope. And then Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin back at the dimension hopping Old Phoenix Inn. So just stuff like that, just very light touch adventures. And I've kind of delved a little bit more into the spiritual side. Like I had the party meet Castor, Melchior, and Balthazar on their way to Bethlehem and fight off Efreet that were sent by the forces of darkness to try and waylay them. But I didn't really have you meet Mary and Joseph and see the Christ child or anything like that. I feel like I don't want to play games with religion like that. I just, even with a group that I know well, you don't really know somebody until you step on their toes. Robert says, I read about your Christmas game posted. The Ale House sounds like a great time. Yeah, this year was okay. I don't think it was one of the better ones. It was better in my head than I executed it at the table. So there's that. But I tell you what, folks, it's getting a little late. I've still got some Christmas presents to wrap. I think we're probably going to go ahead and wrap up then. So, obviously, there will not be a live stream tomorrow. Let's see, tomorrow's Saturday. It wouldn't have been a live stream anyway. But I will be back Monday evening before the D&D game. We will be back live. We will find something Dungeons and Dragons related to talk about. Maybe I'll formulate some more Patreon plans and kind of soft launch a few ideas to you guys about that. And then we'll just proceed from there. But listen, I want to thank you all for being here for another broadcast, and this one on Christmas Eve. I hope you all have an absolutely excellent Christmas. Merry Christmas to you all. Happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas. And just have a good one. I hope you have a relaxing, calm, thoughtful day tomorrow. Thank you again, all of you who commented in, and I'm going to go right down the list. Thank you, John David, Just a Passerby, Rob Weber, IR Bo, Merry Christmas to you. Paul Beckleda, Samalama, Shi Flung Dung, over on Facebook, Eric, Brian Easterling, and so yeah, Merry Christmas to you all. And I will be back on Monday. Please have a safe day. If you have to travel, please, be safe. Take care of yourselves. Watch it. There's a lot of crazy folks out there. And, just take a moment, take a deep breath, and, just relax for a minute before you lose your temper. All right, guys. Take it easy. I'll talk to you later.